Hello, Steve 89. Well, I'm kind of curious if this is weird or not. Obviously, I'm a very white guy. I do not have complicated hair in one sense. It's basically just kind of weak and thin and fine. I can't do nothing with it. So it's always bothered me. And I've always looked at ways to cover it, whether it's just wearing a cap or a beanie. And I've always liked scarves and hankies and stuff and bandanas. I always found them hard to tie though. I always thought durags looked cool, but I was always scared because I'm white. I'm like, I can't wear them, and I've been told I can't. But whatever. And I was looking online the other day, a few days ago, so I was sort of thinking, what is the deal? Am I actually not allowed to do that? And I looked, and there are a bunch of videos about white people who can't, things white people can't do, and wearing durags is one of them. But then I stumbled onto a couple of people doing tutorials, like on how to, different ways to put on a durag. And I started watching a couple of these just out of interest. And I just stumbled across the whole waving thing. And I didn't know, and I said this before because I did a couple of videos about, why can't white people wear durags? And I discovered that they serve a purpose. They're not just superficial, they're not just cover-ups, they're not just fashion. They actually serve a purpose. They actually, yeah. And I started watching some of these videos and I've become absolutely fascinated by them. The amount of process, the amount of time and effort these guys put into their hair, and on some level the artificiality, like you see some of these guys, they want that sharp cut and they will go beyond just cutting the hair to within an inch of its millimeter of its life. They will actually shade in around the areas with spray paint, or I don't know what, I guess it's makeup. I don't know what they're spraying on, but they're using airbrush. It looks like, I know it's not spray paint, but I don't know what they're using. And then they'll literally draw the other side with like a white pencil and then shave it off and I hope blend it down or something. So to get that extreme sharp edge, and it's so interesting. And you look at all these different ways to do it. And I know like regular hairdressing is an art form, and it's kind of interesting to see all the different styles and ways that people do and stuff like that. But I had no idea what the whole waving scene was like. And I mean, I've been watching 360Jeezy and 360Juice and Poppy Blasted and 360 Wave Process, and unfortunately they don't make a lot of videos outside of actual tutorials, so I've kind of run out of these sort of videos where they're like looking at other people's disasters, or reviewing other people's videos, or just doing like the dollar challenge or the Dollar Tree challenge, and like doing like the prison like challenge where they're trying to do their hair with like to use things they could only get in prison to actually do their hair, and to be swimming in waves and stuff. It's like kind of fascinating, but I am running out of videos because there's just tutorials left, so I hope to do more fun stuff. But they're interesting. Like Jeezy's funny. He's just gone on to 3 million subscribers, so I'm not surprised. He's really entertaining. He puts on a big show without being so perfect that it looks professional or intimidating or anything. He just still seems sort of real. Juice is hot, but he's kind of quiet and he doesn't say as much. He doesn't act the fool or be very entertaining, but he's kind of mesmerizing. Sort of watch him. He's sort of interesting. Poppy Blasted is hot. 30 Wave found 360 Wave. Why do I want to say 30 Wave? Where did I get 30 from? He was an athlete, and he's a lot more sitting back with all his stuff, sort of instructional. But I'm just finding myself really fascinated by the whole scene, the actual process of doing the hair, and just seeing what other people think looks good, or in their eye looks right or amazing to them, where other people would think that's extreme or just different, not something you'd even look at doing or look at It's fascinating, and I don't know how weird it is for like a white guy who could never have a wave watching a bunch of wavers do videos and tutorials and stuff about how to do hair. But sometimes I've watched a couple because it's just interesting just to watch it. It's like watching an artist work, and I've done a lot of that being an artist, and I've always found that in other people's process, interest in that. So I don't know, I just wanted to make a video about it because it's something I've spent a lot of time in the last week or so, looking at the last couple of weeks, I think. God, how long has it been? Yeah, since I discovered 360Jeezy doing it was the thumbnail that attracted me. It's like 2 photos of him like struggling with like a blue durag and the strings and that, and he's like got it in his mouth and everything. It just, that's what I mean. He puts on a show, he gets attention, and that's why he's got 3 million followers. It's something I will never achieve, but I don't have a gimmick. Like, he's got a gimmick, that's his thing, but that's also mostly all he can do. Same with some of the other people I follow, like Mecca Random, who's they've all got their specific niches, their bases, they play to them really well. I don't have one. I'm not really a YouTuber. I just make videos for fun. I just talk about stuff, and occasionally you'll stumble into something people are interested in, and you'll get a little bit of viral action for a little while, and then it just goes away. But yeah, I just want to know, is this weird? Should I be a fan of something that like I'm totally outside of, or is that the whole point? Because it's so outside of my world and very different. It's fascinating. So why wouldn't I be interested? I don't know. I just want to talk about it. I sort of wanted to give these guys some credit too, and do a video about them. I think they deserve, one of my videos, even if it doesn't really count for anything. At least in my little world of my little YouTube videos, I gave them a video. Thanks. Feel free to share, likes, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Yep. Or